So the other hot topic that always seems to be every time we get to these State of the States, infrastructure, right?
Yeah.
Bridges, roads, big topic every year. You've seen a lot of construction going on, not just in Boise, but around the state when it comes to this kind of stuff. Governor Little and the legislature, they've worked on these investments for transportation and infrastructure without raising taxes or fees, right? So can they finish this?
Yeah, and that's the real key here is that when they have these big, ideas about infrastructure that are supposed to go on for a decade, you have parts of the plan that you need to tick off every single box. So Governor Little is looking to add $200 million to improve the last 1/3 of dilapidated bridges in the state of Idaho. And they're also looking for $50 million to bond for another $800 million for what they say are badly needed transportation projects across the state of Idaho. Republicans like it. Major accomplishment, they think, should get done in terms of the bridges and the roads.
Absolutely. We made a commitment to do 3 tranches of $200 million each. We've done the first 2. The last one's as important as the first one. So yeah, I think we'll get there. And I'm pretty sure that will be one of the few that's not really debated. We all know that's important. Roads, we've spent a lot of money the last few years trying to bring up that infrastructure. And I know people get frustrated. I'm as frustrated as the rest of them with, having to move around and all the construction. But when it's done, it's such a wonderful thing that it's a good thing. So yeah, I think that one will be an easy sell there.
So a pretty big statement there from Speaker Moyle saying this is one of the few that probably won't be heavily debated.
Something tells me that's not the case. There's always some debate to these bills, and especially maybe even from the other side of the aisle.
Well, the debate from the other side of the aisle is they want more. Again, they like this idea.
Okay.
They're not going to fight them on it, but they'd like to see more pieces brought together. The Dems once again say the problem's bigger than their colleagues to the right are letting on. Rebell says the state's backlogged $8 billion for roads and bridges. I admit, I'm not sure where they got that number from. And yes, an investment to repair 1/3 of the most needed bridges is welcome from the left, but Rebell says that the state made their bed with tax cuts to the wealthy, while the conservatives are celebrating a state surplus. Rebell actually doesn't recognize it exists at all. She says it's a product of not paying your bills when they need to be paid. This infrastructure being an example of that with bridges and roads. And with that lost tax revenue, for example, it stops the state from making a larger, much needed dent in our transportation needs.
The state has engaged in so many top margin income tax cuts in the last few years. They've cut over $2 billion in revenue. And so that's $2 billion we don't have to fix these roads and bridges. So it's a little frustrating to me that and the bulk of that money went to the wealthiest Idahoans in the state. Most of those cuts, very little money went to actual working people. Overwhelmingly, that money went to millionaires and wealthy corporations.
And I'm not sure if one of the two of you know this. I know there was a change to the income taxes not too long ago that had a piece with changing the corporate tax as well, kind of flattening the tax rate.
It's more of a flat tax, yeah.
And I think that's where that piece comes from. Again, she says it's a loss of $2 billion. Again, I'm not positive where these numbers are coming from, but big numbers.
Okay, something to keep an eye on as we get into the budgetary process.